Hey, shalom, shalom, all praises, honor, and glory goes to
Oh,
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, Elder Bishop, the Great Millstone, who rule well. Peace and blessings to you fellow brothers pushing out this word. In truth and sincerity, Shabbat Chanak, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. All right, shalom to the Lord's elect. Okay, and man, what a time that we are in. We are definitely at the end of Esau Edom. You know what? Let me go ahead and get that. Okay. We are at the end of this man's society, which is the beginning of our society. But within that is going to be chaos, destruction, temptation. Okay. And a lot of things that are going to be revealed in the last days. Okay. I think I'm going to call this one. Um, I think I'm going to call this one since he has not hated blood. Okay, and this is inspired by Ezekiel the 35th chapter. We'll get that. I'm not going to make this too long. You see what's going on. All right, America is at war. Okay, with their buddy, their master, Israel, the state of Israel, the small hats. The scripture, the least of the flock shall draw them out. We might get that, but let me bring this out. This is 2 Ezra 6 and 8. It says, let me start at 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? We're still in the first. The first reign, okay, which the majority of the power or control on the earth will be, be controlled by the heathens. Okay, and the last of the heathen, the head of the heathen, Esau, in particular, Amalek, from the tribe of Esau. Okay, they're all Edomites. All right, there is no such thing as white people. Okay, there is no such thing as Jewish. They're all Edomites. Okay, now you have some of our people that are scattered amongst them, looking like them. Okay, but they are the Edomites, and they're being exposed, and they can't run from their nature. Like a lion can't hide and act like a hyena. Okay, a snake can't act like a eagle. Okay, it's his nature. Okay, just like Esau it's his nature. Or remember, he got a blessing, and the blessing was a sword. He's using that blessing, as you can see. He's waging war, okay, on the whole planet Earth, okay, against all the nations, starting with the tribes. Okay, and you haven't seen anything. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There's nothing. We haven't even got to the height of things. Things are building up. Okay, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, and this is why it's important to understand, okay, the story of Jacob and Esau, as well as the lineage, the chosen line. Okay, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Jacob hand held first the hill of Esau. And once you understand that, then everything makes sense. This is really a fight of the birthright. Okay, and for Esau to continue to live in his blessing. He wants his blessing to continue. Okay, which his blessing was not set up for him to continue forever. The wickedness was not set up to continue forever. You see what's going on with the Epitidestine files. All that information is coming out of how the things that they do. Okay. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. And this is where we're watching. We're watching the end of the world. Okay, this is what we're watching. It's almost surreal. Okay, and a lot of people just don't understand what's happening. Okay, and even Esau, he's bound by prophecy. He can't escape. Even though we're telling them what's getting ready to happen, and we've been play by play letting the whole world know, whether they hear or forbear, letting the whole world know, starting with the nation of Israel, Yasha Allah, so-called Black Hispanic Native Americans, okay, as well as the the Israelites that are scattered amongst the nations. Okay, what's getting ready to happen? Okay, and it's all happening. Now, yeah, there certain things that still need to happen? Yeah, namely the MOTB. Okay, namely MOTB, but it's going to get worse before it gets worse. Okay, we're coming into the days of sorrow. You're going to have Isaiah 4:1. We can see that because there watch I don't see this thing slowing down. That's just me. I'm a man, but I don't see this thing slowing down. Let me get Revelation 12. I just don't see it slowing down. Now it could slow down for a moment, but it's going to still speed up. You're still going to have major psyops. Esau's going for the gusto. Okay, Trump said it can be about 4 weeks. Before that, it was 2 weeks. Then it's going to be 4 weeks, and then it's going to be a month, and then it's going, a month is 4 weeks. Then it's going to be 2 months, and it's 3 months, and it's going to be an ongoing thing. All right, but things are going to move real quick. All right, and you're going to start to see cyber attacks. They're going to blame Iran. They're going to blame Russia. All right, you're going to have attacks here in the United States. That's going to galvanize and give the American government excuse to draft. Okay, you're gonna see a different look on the people's face here in Babylon the Great when they see that it's actually affecting them. Now we're gonna see what's gonna happen when markets open on Monday. Okay. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. And when you can look up woe yourself. You can go in the blue letter. I'm not sure it does. Yeah, let's go in the blue letter. We'll do it. Okay. But if you can look at woe, you can just Google it and it'll give you the definition. Doesn't really give you too much down here in a strong definition. An exclamation of grief. Yeah, because but yeah, it's going to be a very grievous time. Okay? There's going to be a lot of goods that you Westerners, you so-called Americans, you were used to having on a daily basis, access to bread, access to milk, access to salt, okay, access to, alcohol, access to these little things that you took for granted in a Western first world country. These things are gonna be gone. Okay, it tells us that. Let me get that Apocrypha. Okay, right. It speaks about how that's either I want to say 2nd Ezra 6. We'll find it. Right. 2nd Ezra 6:22. Let me see. Let me start at 20. 2nd Ezra 6 and I started 18. Okay. It says and I'm gonna jump, okay? This is 2nd Ezra 6:18, and it said, behold, the days come, meaning this was when Ezra received this, meaning that it's going to explain it, but there are going to be times in the future that these things that we're getting ready to read would happen. And now we're in those times. Okay, Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. The vision is yet for appointed time. Okay, so this happy-go-lucky, college spirit, and like I said, it can slow down. It can, it can be only a 2-week war, a month war. But things are going to change. Okay. It hasn't slowed down since they've been going into Iran, talking about they can't have a nuclear missile. They can't have long range ballistic missiles. They're an evil regime, this and that and this. We'll watch some video. Right. They've, several months went by, several years went by, several decades went by. But they are still pushing towards their mark. They're still pushing towards their agenda. Meanwhile, they're rolling out, digital currencies, digital IDs, and all it takes is for one black swan event to shut shit down. Okay, a release of Disease X. Okay, a multipolar cyber attack. Okay, to shut down industry. Okay, some type of attack on the grid, some type, that's all it takes. The attack on the Empire State Building. They can blame Iran. They can blame running their proxies. Then they can force, they can force whatever measure they want. Okay, according to prophecy, we see that's why we know that this what's going to happen, because it's according to prophecy. Okay, it says, and it said, behold, the days come that I will bring that I will begin to draw nigh, which means come close, and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. Okay, and the Lord is doing that first via the prophet speaking the words, letting you know what's getting ready to happen, as well as activating the different measures, the different signs, the different wonders. Okay, the effectual signs of the different things, the different prophecies that will happen to usher in the end. And I will begin to make inquisition of them, which inquisition is a period of long, intense questioning and investigation. Okay, and that's happening on a global level. Okay, all eyes are on E. His own tongue is falling upon himself. You have the Egyptian against the Egyptian, the Edomite, fighting each other, exposing each other, right against the left, the blaming each other. So you also have civil war that's on the table. Okay, race skirmishes, race wars, right? You have total economic collapse with the ushering in of digital currencies. They're already using digital IDs in particular forms here in the United States. You have your digital passport. What they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and that's all that they do. They did the 250 years in power, America. I think only 18 of those years they've been in peace, at peace. 95% of the time, America has been a actual country, an actual nation, a kingdom. They've been at war with everybody. If you have something that they want, okay, they're gonna come and they're gonna destroy you. Okay, and that's what they're doing to Iran. They want something. They want total domination. They want what Alex Jones, when he was talking to not Gerald Celente, but Alan Russo, and Alan Russo was telling about how he was dealing with Nick Rockefeller, and the ultimate goal is to put a chip inside the whole world. And Alex Jones said total control, which Alex Jones, he's an insider. Okay, he's control opposition. He's bought and paid for. Okay. And when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled, and see, that's another piece of the puzzle, another clue. Okay, we the Israelites, Zion, it says Zion here, but we know Zion, to Zion monument. Okay, the Israelites, when our punishment basically would to be fulfilled. Okay, meaning we went through our captivity. We're still in our captivity. We still have the curses on us. But we know the closer we're getting to the end, the Most High is lifting off those curses, and He's placing upon our enemies. And ultimately, when this destruction hits, okay, all those curses are going to be off of us, and they're going to be on our enemies. Okay, so our punishment is pretty much accomplished. All right, now we're going through the test stage to see who's going to be the first fruits. Okay, that's what the hour of temptation is. This is why the Most High is putting the spirit on Esau to roll out this tech, to roll out this implantable device. All right, to see who are the Most High's jewels on the earth. Who's going to take it, who's not going to take it. Who the Most High is dealing with. Everybody says that they love God. They'll say Jesus or they worship Muhammad. Well, we're going to see if, Jesus, God, Muhammad, whatever you want to call him. We'll see if their God comes and saves them. Because obviously those bombs are dropping, okay, on them Iranians and Persians, and I haven't seen Muhammad come out of the sky. I haven't seen Allah come out of the sky and slap one of them tomahawk missiles. I haven't seen that, and it's not going to happen. But we know at the height, after everybody gets chipped, after they push the chip, we know that Yahweh Shai, our power is going to come. And they're already planning for it. They're already, speaking about an alien invasion. It's not an alien invasion, but you can say it's alien because alien means foreign. Yeah, it's going to be alien to this world. Okay, but he's going to be an Israelite man. Let me jump down. Okay, verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Okay, so these grocery stores, these grain depots, these places where food is stored, these packaging plants, okay, where these farms. There's going to be nobody. They're blocking off the borders. They're already at wage with Mexico. They're not even telling you that news anymore. What happened? What happened with Mexico? Can people get on flights? You have people. You have U.S. citizens stuck in Dubai. Everybody want to go to Dubai. They're bombing Dubai. Okay, so let me Did I read Revelation? Yeah, let me read that again. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. And when you watch this video, why is he moving with so much haste? Why? What's going on? There's no clear, definitive reason why they're going to war, all right, with Iran. And they're giving you a time limit too. Okay, yeah, it's going to be 4 weeks. People have died, but no worries. More is going to die. You'll watch it. Let's play. So you and like I said, you've seen this unless you're in a different world. Okay, but prophecy is getting ready to confront everybody. The whole world is getting ready to stop. Okay, and you heard it from the prophets.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yo.
So just think when missiles like that, not nuclear missiles, but missiles like that are being fired off in these major cities, especially these port cities, destroying different infrastructure, here in America. Okay, the people in America, they're going to be completely different. These women, they're going to act completely different. These oh man, you're going to see it. They're going to be nice. They're going to be running, beating down the door. They're going to be beating down the door. They're going to try to get in contact with you. Isaiah 4:1. Why? Because a lot of their husbands, they're going to be sent off to the war. You got to read Isaiah the 3rd chapter, last like 2 verses. Okay, the reason why that's going to happen, they're going to be sent to war. They're going to die off. A lot are going to die of famine. Okay, because war brings disease and famine. Okay, so what's going to happen when you're going to start to see these things in America? That's going to change. That's going to change the dynamic. Okay, it's going to be no more games. Okay, but then there's going to be some level of normacy, because the scriptures say that they shall be eating and drinking. All right, and that's taking place right now while all hell is breaking loose around the world.
Yo! No way! No way! No way! Opa, شو
States has requested
Oh my God!
the United States has requested permission to use British bases for that specific and limited defensive purpose.
You see that? So the UK is getting inside the war, okay, as well as France. So America's going to use bases, British bases.
We have taken the decision to accept this request to prevent Iran firing missiles across the region.
So United Kingdom can get it now. Remember, this is a world war, or Revelation 11 and 7. The second woe is past, and woe, the third woe coming quickly. You know what? Give me one moment. Just give me a second. Give me a second. Okay. I'm back. All right.
Killing innocent civilians, putting British lives at risk, and hitting countries that have not been involved.
And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but
Yeah, there's gonna be more. He's talking about American soldiers. He said, "Hey, look, it's gonna be more American soldiers dead. They're gonna die. It's likely gonna be more. That's just the way that it is."
we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case. For almost 50 years, these wicked extremists have been...
So they're called. Hold on.
For almost 50 years, these wicked extremists...
So Trump is calling the Iranians wicked. Isn't that crazy? But that's the devil. Okay, whatever he is, he puts that on somebody else. Okay, and he has his media, he has his witchcraft, to fulfill that. But his witchcraft is waning. Is, as the scriptures say, stand now with thy enchantments, because things are going to get out of hand. Yeah, he's manipulating things behind the scenes, but he's actually not in control. Let me get that actually. Isaiah 47. Esau's not in control. He believes he's going to be able to guide, World War III, and somehow he's going to be able to win. And if the Lord comes back, he's going to be able to win. And yeah, he thinks, he really truly believes that. He was able to succeed so far, so far so good, right? If you've been winning for hundreds of years, and now you're at the point to where pretty much like the last stronghold, which is Iran, you about to topple. You got everybody else. You conquered Jake. You were successful. You took people off gold and you gave them paper money. Like you beat down the civilization. You got them wondering what's a woman, what's a man. Okay, you got all type of nasty videos online. You've been kidnapping children, drinking their blood, and you've been getting away with it. You've been actually increasing in riches. It talks about in James, the 5th chapter, how you heap to yourselves treasures for the last days. You've been preparing for this. But the writing is on the wall. You're getting ready to be destroyed. And none of your enchantments, and we're going to look at that word enchantment. But let me read this. Isaiah 47:12. Stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries. And that's basically what it is. It's just sorcery. You're able to paint a picture. All right. You're able to create a narrative. And the majority of the people, they follow it. And then you have the power and the resources to apply it. Okay, what is it? Woe to them that work evil upon their beds. They practice it because it's in the power of their hands. Vaguely paraphrasing Micah the 2nd chapter, the 1st verse. They're able to do these things and practice and perform it. Okay, because they have the power to do so. All right, and still there's a lot of people that are still under that spell. But the spell is lifting as, the reality sets in. When there's no more food at the grocery store, reality sets. Now Jake and everybody, they're going to be, what's going on? They're going to point the finger at somebody, and then all of a sudden you're going to see a lot of people, they're going to get conscious. Like they've been speaking about these things and knowing about these things for years. Oh yeah, I knew the elites, they did this, they did that. I can't believe they do that. It's unbelievable. But they're still going to fall for the okie doke, because Esau, which is really the Lord, got something for you. Okay, he's gonna usher in that chip, and things gonna move quick too. You're not gonna have time to think and meditate, because things are gonna be happening one after another, one event after another. Polycrisis, wherein thou hast laid, and then you're gonna see just major death all around you. You're gonna be calling on your false gods, Jesus and Yahweh and Jah and Muhammad and Allah and Buddha and the ancestors, and nobody's going to come. Nobody's coming to your rescue. So it's really a sad existence for the wicked. The wicked, this is the worst time for the wicked to be alive. This is the best time for the righteous to be alive. Okay? All the hell that we've been catching from our apostle and elders on down, all the things, all the forbearances, all the sufferings. Okay, it's going to greatly profit in these days. Okay, abstaining from evil is going to greatly profit in those days. Remember, riches profit not in the day of wrath. All these people flexing. You had T.I. and Pharrell. They did. T.I. had a new rap video. I'm like, this nigga old. Why? It came out like 2 days ago. The same old tired, music video. The Louis bags and talking shit and talking about dope boys and how he's stunting. It's the same old tired bullshit. There's no substance to it. Here it is, you doing that, and fucking the world is ending. It is believable, but it's unbelievable how ignorant these people are. But hey, that's I was talking to Apostle Gabar today. We were riding a car and speaking, and he quoted Isaiah the 60th chapter. Yeah, gross darkness to people. The people are literally under a spell. And we're reading about it. Wherein thou, let me start from the top. Stand down with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. Okay, so let's see if your witchcrafts, your enchantments are going to get you out of this situation. Get you out of Yahweh Shai coming back. That word there is chabar. Okay. Association, company, band. Right down here. A magician, charmer, spell. Yeah, society, association of charmers, sorcerers. Okay. Of false prophets that can deceive you on the surface level, but when you start peeling the layer, of their enchantment, it falls flat on its face because there's no substance. It's just a magic trick. It's a trick. It's not real. Okay, so everybody's starting to see it. Okay, that are weary in a multitude of thy counsels, because it's going to get out of hand. You're gonna find out that you're not in control, and you never was. And then all of a sudden, everybody's going, where them prophets at? What was y'all saying again? You're going to have family calling you. You're going to have exes calling you back. Your uncle going to call you. Your friends going to call you. Your teacher going to call you. They're going to try to get in contact with you. They're going to want to know what's going on. Like, I thought I was a crazy nigga. Right? They are weary in a multitude of thy counsels. Because that's all right now as we speak during councils, secret councils. So what's the next move? What should we do? Let's release that. Let's do this. Let's do that on this date. Let's do this sacrifice. Let's kill this celebrity. Let's do, they're wearied. Let's look at this word wearied. They're on the back foot, like the elder Yahshua says. Okay, Esau is on the defense. Okay, he's doing this out of fear. This is why he's moving so quick. The counsel of the forward is carried headlong. Okay, in Job, the 5th chapter, that word headlong is to be rushed. Okay, so that word is la'ah. Or la. Yeah, la'ah. Okay, to be weary, be impatient. See, look at that. Be impatient. Be grieved. Be offended, be weary, impatient, to be tired of something. Yeah, you're just tired. Like, man, we gotta do another sacrifice. We gotta do this again. We gotta talk to this demon again. I thought the demon said it was gonna be cool. The people are not believing it. We gotta deal with these Israelites and what's going on with that. And they're exposing this, and we gotta do another. We gotta drink more blood. Satan is not answering us. What's going on? right? This is all what's going on in the wicked elite's mind as they're moving forward, all right, to their agenda. All right, it says to make weary, exhaust. So they're exhausted, okay, because you have to keep the lie going. It's like you have this lie that you told, and then you keep getting questioned, and you got to tell another lie, and they're not accept, they're not just accepting it and just go about your day and you don't have to answer any more questions. They're like, what about that again? And then where were you at on this day? Or you got to tell another. And then it's like, well, what about this? So you're weary, you're exhausted, you're not catching a break, and then you're being cursed out by the Lord. Okay, you're being cursed. No, nobody's cursing out the elites. Okay, they'll say, they'll bring certain things up. They'll say, oh, they're psychopaths and they're this, they're that. But they have the power. They're not going to be they're not going to put themselves in jail. Okay. Nobody's really saying, they'll bring out, people bring out a couple of things that they say, but these people, they love this system. If these people had, extra money and was able to, enjoy the pleasures, they wouldn't come against the elites. They'll still be trafficking, they'll still be drinking, but at least still be drinking blood, they'll still be creating wars. But as long as it didn't bother them. So these people, these demons, they're all complicit. It's just now that economically, socially, their movements is being restricted. They're starting to see that, the whole goal was to put them in captivity, to make them like a so-called Negro, to be a black, to be a slave. And Esau doesn't like that. Esau don't want to be a slave. And his own is enslaving him. Right? So that's the only reason why they're mad, because they're not getting a piece of the blessing. If the wicked elite was sharing the blessing with the rest of the Edomites, they wouldn't have a problem going around bombing people. And you have a lot of people that don't have a problem with that. I was watching the one on Fox News, which is a complete, them people are demonic. Yeah, but you can see that on Fox News, this is Jason A. On Fox News, they're, oh yeah, good for Iran, and yeah, the people, yeah, good, get them. About time, they talking shit, which it could be bots, but that's really how Esau feels on the right. Okay, let me finish this. Thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. And they're not going to be able to save you, because Esau doesn't move unless he consults with the left hand priesthood. They do things through astrology. They do things through particular dates, numerology, and witchcraft essentially. And numbers got to add up, and this date and this color and this person got to blink this time, and we got to do 5 sacrifices. He doesn't do anything unless he does that. But he's going to be doing these things, and it's not going to be working. Behold, they shall be as stubble. Yeah, because those missiles, ultimately, Russia's going to get involved. Right now, you don't really hear too much about Russia. Not on the mainstream news at that. There's still a lot of things going on in the background. Okay? But Russia hasn't got involved physically yet. But that's going to happen. The fire shall burn them, and that's what's going to happen. Russia's going to send those missiles. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. Yeah, nothing's going to be able to help you. Riches is not going to be able to help you. The only thing that's going to deliver, all right, is the thawa. You have to be exempt from judgment from the Heavenly Father. Wisdom is going to deliver you. Okay, not the wisdom or knowledge of wickedness. All right, not the wisdom of this world. The wisdom of this world is foolishness. Oh, I got a doctor's degree in this and that. Come on, man. The Most High don't give a shit about that. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before. Okay, because it's gonna be completely leveled. Let me go back to this video. We'll play a little bit more, then I'm gonna get Ezekiel, and then we'll close it.
Have been attacking the United States while chanting the slogan, "Death to America."
And that's why brothers shouldn't be saying that, okay? Because they're gonna try to associate us with that. Okay, we don't have to say all that. All we got to do is just bring out the prophecies. All right.
Or death to Israel, or both. They are the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. We are the world's greatest and most powerful nation, so we can do something about what they do.
And in the scriptures speak about how has the hammer of the whole earth be cut asunder. Okay, yeah, this great power, this nation like no other, America, which is Babylon the Great. Yeah, on paper, nobody should be able to stand up against it. But the Most High has been breaking you down from the inside out. Okay, as you've been going around spreading yourself thin. All right, the Most High has been breaking your ass down.
These intolerable threats.
And according to prophecy, the Lord has woken up the different mighty men of the other nations with that same equalizing power, that nuclear missile. Why you think Esau, America hasn't done this to Russia, or done this to North Korea, right? Or went into India or Pakistan? Because they got that thing on them. Okay, they got that thing. They got that rocket on them.
Will not continue any longer.
Way.
Are they close to getting it weaponized? They claimed was
And look at these devils, man. These is real devils.
for civilian and peaceful uses. They were close to getting it weaponized. And at that point, they are very dangerous because while they could have created a nuclear weapon, you also have to look at that gives them the opportunity to create a dirty bomb as well. So either way, they had to be stopped and they were unwilling to negotiate, which meant
It's their fault. It's their fault that we had to bomb them. They didn't want to negotiate. So yeah, we got to take them out. Okay, and American people, they're buying. You would think, right, if this was a righteous society, the American citizens would have, the first bomb dropped, or even the thought of bombs drop, or that armada being sent there, or any of these Congress or politicians or presidents speaking about going there, the people would have been rioting. Okay, they would have been protesting, but they'll line up and protest for because they said that abortion is illegal or whatever. Some stupid shit, or protest, or a man could be a woman. A woman can be anything. All right, so this place is completely backwards. That's done. You can watch this damn devil if you want on your own. Let me go to Ezekiel. And supposedly the death toll is way higher than that they're saying. They're only saying it's three dead and five injured. But according to this video here, all right, over 560 U.S. soldiers confirmed killed. Okay, which, we'll see. Of course, America's not going to tell you the real story. That's why they're going to have to do the draft. Now, this is from OPTM. I'm not going to play this video. I was going to play it, but you can watch this. You see that right there on the screen. You go ahead and watch that. I watched a few minutes of that. Okay, and I guess they attacked, like them destroyers out there, and I don't know, they sunk one. We'll see. Everything's going to open up. Everything's going to be revealed. So no worries. Ezekiel 35. We want 35. Okay. We'll read a couple verses here and we're going to close it. This is Ezekiel 35:2. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. That's the government of Esau, Edom. Okay. We're speaking to the elites. We're not speaking to the average everyday American, Bob the plumber. All right, or John the office worker. Okay, or Bill, he got a construction company. Or even these, Andrew, that's a CEO of a multi-million. We're not speaking, you're low level. We're speaking about the movers and the shakers. People that actually have influence, that actually have power, that have control over armies, that have control over peoples. All right, they have control over the government and how the government runs. Okay, this is the mountain, the tip, the summit, the peak. Okay, they have their meetings. They call it the summits. Where the average individual, does he go there to a summit? He doesn't have clearance to go there. What is he talking? What is he going to speak about? All he knows is computers or something. He's a computer programmer. He doesn't know geopolitics. All right. He doesn't speak with nation states. All right. So we're speaking to the head. Okay. And this is what the Most High told us to say, not our words. Okay. Verse 3, and say unto it, thus said the Lord power. So we're telling you, thus said Yahweh. All right. And Yahweh Shai. Okay. Behold, we're not saying Jesus or God said this, God said that. What God are you talking about? God is just a title. We're coming in the name of Yahweh, okay, and Yahweh Shai. We're telling you this is what these powers are saying to you. Behold, O Mount Seir, right? See, Mount Seir speaking about Esau. Esau dwelt in Mount Seir, and it's talking about the mountain speaking about the government. I am against thee. See, the Most High is saying he's against you, Edomites. He's against the government of Esau. Even though you built up these nations and you got technology and iPhones and Saratoga water, you're able to import, export, and you got electric cars. I don't you got AI now and you got robot. That don't mean shit. The Most High is against all that. He gave you the power to actually fulfill those things. Read Romans the 9th chapter. See, and this is the thing. Esau, he doesn't understand the scripture. He understands certain things, but he can't understand the deep things of the Most High. He can't understand the spiritual things of the Most High because he's a carnal man. The spiritual things were given to his people, starting with the elect. Okay, and really starting with the prophets, the secrets. And I will stretch out my hand against thee. Okay, that's why all this thing is, all your societies are crumbling. Baruch the 4th chapter, miserable are thy cities, and I will make thee most desolate. So this is what, everything that's happening is all leading to this actual day, which is the day of the Lord, in which America is going to be desolate. Your whole power structure is going to be destroyed. Okay, you're going to run into those bunkers speaking about the mountain of Esau, these government leaders. Okay, and you're going to get snatched out of them holes, them bunkers. You're going to get snatched out of the underground sea, caverns and shit. You're going to get snatched out of the sky. And I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. You're going to know, because right now you're not putting respect on his name. Okay? Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai are not getting respect in the world. So he's orchestrating this big, play. He's giving you power. He's allows you to think that you're in control, and right, you're in control of the wheel. And at the last end, he moves the wheel, and lets you know there's nothing that you can do. It's like you're in a car, right, and then you're driving a car. Then all of a sudden, something takes over the car and starts driving it, and then starts speaking to you. Hey, I'm in control. You've never been in control. Locks the doors. Do this. Do that. Can take your seatbelt on, take your seatbelt, can speak to you in your mind, can move your hand, move your body, close your eyes. You can, like, hey, look, nigga, I'm in control. That's what the Most High is getting ready to do. He's about to show you that, hey, I was in control the whole time. And Esau's going to be fearful. You're going to really see the Edomite afraid. Fear is coming back in the highest level. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. All right, because you continue. The scriptures speak about a continual stroke. Like you beat Jake down dead, and then you just keep beating him down in the grave. You won't stop. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood. And blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood. See, you don't hate blood, you love it. Esau, he's a bloody man. Well, he loves blood so much he drinks it. He's the vampire. He literally loves blood so much he takes innocent children and he drinks it, and he does the unspeakable. Okay, it's just in him to do that. He wants the blood. Okay, I'm saying it like that. He loves blood that much, but he actually loves to destroy people. All right, their sleep is taken away from them if they have not caused them to destroy. That's probably, you can read probably the 4th chapter. I think maybe the 16th verse, 17th verse, around there. To eat the bread of violence, right? Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So you love blood so much, well, you're gonna get a taste of your own medicine. Thus, let me get that. You're gonna get a taste of your own medicine. We could also get Isaiah 33, but we're not gonna get that. Isaiah 33 and 1. I'm gonna get Revelation, right, 13. And we can start at 9. This is Revelation 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. Esau, you got to. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword you must. Because sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily, right? Ecclesiastes 8:11. The heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Meaning, because you've done this for so long, and nobody has come against you, you haven't been judged, you believe that it's good. Well, shit, the Most High is with me now. God is actually with me. Oh, you know what? I am. He got so messed up in the head. Esau's like, wait a minute. I am God. God is not even with me. I am God. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Right. We're patiently waiting for this through faith. We have not seen it. Okay. We can't grab it. That's why it's faith. We believe on it through faith. We believe that Esau is going to be judged. Okay. We believe that America is going to be destroyed. We believe that the Most High is going to deliver his elect. We believe that through faith. Okay. Everybody's faith is getting ready to be tested. Okay. You Jesus worshipers, your faith in Jesus is getting ready to be tested. Okay. You Jesus worshipers, you're going to go ahead and take the chip. Because Jesus is going to say it's okay to do it. Jesus said you can do whatever the hell you want to do. Jesus said the law is done away with. Okay. Let's go back. Ezekiel 35:7. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, which is speaking about the leadership of Esau, Edom. Okay. Your baby America is going to be desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth, and I will fill his mountains with slain men. In thy hills and in thy valleys and in thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. A lot of your military men are going to be completely decimated, or I should say annihilated. I will make thee perpetual desolation, and thy city shall not return. Ye shall know that I am Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Because thou hast said, these two nations, and this is the reason why the Most High is doing all this for our sakes. That's the thing. You got these jakes that are, oh God, you telling me God, he put us in slavery? I'm supposed to worship a God like that? Did it? Nigga, you went off. Furthermore, you're supposed to be obedient to, okay, the will of the Most High. But the Lord, he hasn't given you that mind to be able to understand that. So you're just going to die here in America. You're just going to be burned up. Okay. No biggie. You'll come back in the kingdom. Because God said these two nations and these two countries are mine, and we will possess it. Whereas the Lord was there. Right. It's talking about the northern kingdom. Okay. And the southern kingdom. Therefore, as I live, both tribes, the Most High is doing it for all the tribes, not just Judah, the so-called black man. He's doing it for all the tribes. Okay. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord power, I will even do according to thy anger and according to thy envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. And I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against the mountain of Israel, saying, these are laid desolate, they are given to consume. Thus with your mouth Ye have boasted against me. Esau talked cash money shit. Psalms of 10 talk about how he puffeth at his enemies. Esau don't believe that the Most High is going to, save Jake. But in the back of his head, he's like, man, what if he does? But that pride is not going to get him to, submit. Esau's going to submit by force. This is the individual that we're dealing with. Thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Thus said the Lord power, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate. Okay? So all that cash money shit, like individuals like this, could you imagine a guy like this that's been in power, doing all type of shit? He probably was on the island, doing all type of crazy shit, lives good in an instant, and he's low level. He's a peon, really the elites. Okay, from living opulent, living more than heart can wish, to being below, to being just baser than all creation. All right, and just being beat to a pulp for 1,000 years, hardcore slavery. So I'm gonna close it there until next time. Shalom to the elect.